Good Sunday afternoon, folks. How you doing? I'm Andy Vitale, host of My Fight Our War and co-host of Music and Mayhem, with my brother, the one and only Skylar Ray. And right off the bat, want to give a shout out to Skylar and Kayla for their show they did last night. Chit chat with them a little bit beforehand, and with all this crap that's going around with people being sick and it's just everyone's been hit with something, and unfortunately he's been under the weather and really didn't say much to anyone else, um, but he was telling me that he was during the day, because I was thinking about maybe us going live a little bit, promote the show, and that's when he let me know that he wasn't feeling too good. And you know what? Before we start going here, let's do this and bring OG on.
Hey, I'm here.
We're doing a little mess around here in the studio, trying to do a little bit of this and that, trying to figure out different things that are going to be going on. But so we'll get into that in a bit. But back to Skylar and Kayla. This was part of the Road to Recovery tour, and they went to Another Chance Rehab, and that is located at 211 Northeast 18th Avenue in Portland, Oregon, where they did a show last night, and it was a great thing they did, because it was they didn't charge anybody. It was a free show they did. So that's just Skylar and Kayla, the stuff they do.
They're very generous.
Very generous. But what people didn't know about last night's show is Skylar was sick. And as we know, the show must go on. And it's a lot easier for me to do it, what I do, and than these entertainers, man. And but the show must go on. And he gave his word that he was going to perform, and him and Kayla did a great job, and actually ended up getting sick twice, and no one even knew.
There's a professional.
That just shows the dedication that they have when it comes to making sure that their shows are second to none.
And look who's on.
Who's on?
Skylar's on.
Hey.
We're just talking about you, baby.
I was just telling everyone how you have a new part, a new gimmick for your show, is when you decide to puke all over, and
just for entertainment.
But yeah, I was just letting folks know that no one else really knew about it. I was the privileged one that knew. I was telling people how we were chit-chatting a little bit about possibly going on before last night's show, and that's when you said that you were still under the weather. And I'm like, well, shit, that sucks. Here you're about to go, put on a show. And so no one said anything, obviously. And you and Kayla kicked ass. And that's when afterwards you informed me that, not only were you still under the weather, but you actually ended up getting sick twice during the show, but no one even knew. And that just goes to show the dedication that you guys have. You and Kayla, are just amazing when it comes to making sure that the fans come first.
You're the best.
And
you are the best.
Great job, man. So great job on the show.
Pictures look good.
And everything you did. Yep. We were just looking at before we went live.
That's right.
So, hey, you might be onto something here. Maybe you should puke before every show. It's like it'll be part of your routine. It's how with certain athletes you have superstitions and all,
like a good luck charm.
Like, hey, when I played hockey, man, I had certain things I had to do in certain order, getting dressed before I hit the ice. So here for you, before each show, but seriously though, I mean, it just goes to show the dedication that music artists have, and anybody.
See what he said? M.F.O.W did it first on 8 Mile. So I mean, he is your hero. So I mean, following in his footsteps.
And look what it did for him. So I mean, look what it did for M.F.O.W. So hey, you know what? If that's what it takes,
maybe
you go ahead and you just puke away. Vomit on the sweater already.
Oh,
There
no.
you know
Poor
what?
baby.
I do believe that's should be the name of your next song.
Oh.
Let's get that next song, Vomit on the Sweater. That's right. Yeah, let's see. What else can we have? Puking on the parka. Let's see. We got a couple things we can go with, but anyway, seriously, man, great job on the show, especially not feeling well and no one knew. So great job on that.
Saving calories.
Do what?
Saving calories by throwing up.
There you go.
Oy, oy, oy.
There you go.
Next song drops in a weekend. Oh, okay. Next song drops in a week or so called Stay Strong. Well, does that not fit you or
Stay
what?
strong. Puke more. Do whatever it takes. The show must go on.
Is Kayla okay?
Yeah, I mean, were you both
Did she
sick?
catch anything from you?
Was this just
like a stomach flu or something?
Yeah.
Poor baby.
It does fit. But no, seriously, man, great job on the show and taking care of your audience, because everyone knows that you and Kayla definitely, when it comes to doing what you do, your fans, your family, and everyone comes first, and that's how it is. I mean, I feel the same way. Whenever I say I'm going to do a show, I do the show, and the only time I didn't was in New York, and that pissed me off.
That sure did.
I was so upset with myself for not, but I couldn't talk, and there's no way I could do it, and I was very upset. So I understand how that goes when you do something that is, you especially when you give your word, man. When you commit to something and it's something that's out of your control, it's like, damn. But great job, and the pictures are great, and on to the next one, brother. So, and looking forward to talking about the next show. So we'll be chit-chatting about that on Wednesday and our next show. And but other than that, man, just kind of getting ready for tonight. I am actually going to be a guest on the show. I will be on the podcast. It is the Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. And that will be on at, what is it? 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
Is when it'll be live. And I'll be sharing that through a couple of the different platforms as well. So please check us out tonight. That is Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern time. What else? Oh, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we got a nice guest tomorrow.
Yes. Definitely check us out tomorrow. We have a very special guest on My Fight or War who will be telling his story, and that is Jeremy Ross. It's going to be a very intense show. I got a chance to talk to Jeremy for a little bit yesterday, and we got a lot in common. He's a biker, and as crazy as this, I can't remember if it was his brother or a club brother or somebody who actually is in contact, something with the highwaymen, or is either
your former family.
Yeah, either somebody is part of the club that he knows or something, but we'll be checking that out tomorrow. There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, there's a connection there.
Oh yeah.
That's always interesting how when you talk to different people, how you find different people are connected. Like today, this morning, I just saw Stephen, whose wife is related to the people who own the restaurant.
Oh yeah, and it was very nice too, because and since we're on here, I do want to thank you.
It was wonderful. I loved it.
I want to thank OG for allowing me to be a guest on your show. Because as we found out today, we were at breakfast, and we also found out that our little restaurant is going to be no longer. Yeah, they are closing down. I think they said the end of summer.
Yeah,
and because the Sheetz hit the fan.
Yeah.
Literally, Sheetz gas station is taking over and bought the corner,
huge corner,
and basically is demoing a couple buildings right there on the corner, including our restaurant that we go to. Apple will be no more, but we were there today, and heading out the door, and I hear, "Oh, hold on a minute! I know
I got
these
family
people
here.
here."
Yeah, I got family here.
So I'm up at the front, and I turn around, and she's talking to a couple at the booth. So afterwards, she's explaining about the couple, and so again, thank you so much, OG, for allowing me to be a guest on your show.
Can I tell them what he
I
said? Or are you going to
appreciate
say?
it. Oh no, hey, it's your show. It's OG show, so we'll let you go ahead and
Okay,
explain.
so Manny
So-
walks past me. He's going to go to he's going to the cash register. He's going to pay for breakfast, and I hear Miss Lynn, because this is what a friend of my son who grew up. I mean, I've known this kid since they were like 8 years old, and he's 34 now. Anyway, and he says, I saw that guy. That's the guy who's on Miss Lynn's show, Miss Lynn's podcast.
That's the guy that's a guest on Miss Lynn's show.
Miss Lynn's podcast. I went,
So-
I said, yes, that's true.
Yes, so
they recognize you, so you're a star.
So thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest on your show.
On my show. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. She's laughing. And she goes, "Oh yeah, they recognized you." I was like, "Oh, from the show." I was like, "Oh, well, that was nice." They recognized you from being a guest on my show. I was like, "Oh, well, okay then." But you know what? When it comes down to it, it's our show. It's all of our shows. It's everyone who's on My Fight Our War, everyone who's part of the extended family. I mean, that's what we've always said from day one. This has never been an I and a me. It's always been us and we. But it was just so funny because she made sure to tell me this when she was like on the other side by the table and I was up front. She was like, "Oh, they recognized you from being a guest on my show." I was like, "Oh."
But what that tells us, though, which is also nice, that there's a lot of people watching that aren't signing on. They're just watching, and they see you. Hey, they recognized you. You're the star.
Oh, no,
you're the star.
No. Everyone that comes on here is. But that was so funny. Because
he's on your show.
I mean, I knew something was up because she was like, "Oh, I got." As soon as I saw the look, I knew something was coming. How
what's she gonna say?
They recognized you from being on my show. So what an honor!
That's right.
It's an honor to be on your show. But so yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, tonight, please check us out live, and I'll be on live with Jim, and I believe the producer is Tim, and it is Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast, and that will be going on live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, and tomorrow with Jeremy Ross on My Fight Our War, and that will be promptly at 7 p.m. ish Eastern Time. So
he sounds very interesting. It's going to be a good story.
Oh yeah, he's
they're all good stories.
I mean,
they're all different.
He's got a ton of energy, and the backstory. Not only do we have a lot in common from the biker aspect, but he ended up seeing, and I can't remember which guest it was because we were talking about a few different guests who are bikers, and he saw the interviews with them, and he said something about he really got a lot from that show because the similar lifestyle. But like I said, I can't remember exactly which one it was because we've got a few guys who are on shows that ride with different clubs and stuff like that. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So please join us at 7 p.m. ish Eastern Time for Jeremy Ross on My Fight Our War.
Yeah, it'll be good.
And then, of course, Wednesday, Music and Mayhem. And as of now, you're going to be just stuck with me, Skylar, and OG. As of
on my show.
On OG show. So actually, you know what, Skylar? Me and you are very honored to be a guest on OG's show this Wednesday because I'm sure people recognize us from OG's show on Wednesday. So,
let's go.
It's actually Music and Mayhem with OG, and her special guests would be myself and Skylar. So this, she's still over here.
Two men that I love dearly.
She's over here still giggling away.
I just thought it was so funny.
Oh yeah, but I just loved how she announced it. She couldn't wait to walk up and tell me. She had to yell it from the back of the restaurant. Oh my God! But let's see what else is going. Oh, we are doing some work here in the studio here in Detroit. I am waiting for some contacts. A good friend of mine who was actually on the show that you guys saw that we did with Screaming Scott and Loco Joe,
Loco
also
Joe.
known as Pancho and Cisco. Um, Obviously, Screaming Scott is a radio legend icon, and he's been part of the radio social media industry for 30 years or so. Um, and so, I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he's known not only just through Detroit radio, but nationally. He's all over the place. Everyone knows Screaming Scott. And Joe, I went to school with. So I've known Joe for over 40 years, and he is very, very um, IT savvy, man. In fact, when I was talking to Scott about different ideas for as a studio, and I said, maybe you and Joe pop on over, check out the studio, some ideas.
Hmm.
And before I even finished, Scott was like, no, I mean, that's Joe. He goes, he's the IT wizard when it comes to doing anything as far as the cameras, the mics, the light. I mean, anything that has to do with the IT stuff, he goes, Joe's the master. So what we're going to be doing is pretty much here in Detroit is we're going to be doing exactly what we're doing in New York.
Connecticut. Hmm.
And that is going to be doing all in person, not just in person, but we're going to be doing in person shows here, as well as continuing to do what we're doing as well.
Hmm.
But to have the option, because right now, the way things are set up.
Delta's going to miss you. The TSA agents are going to really miss you because we won't have to travel quite as much.
Yeah.
We'll still travel.
But the thing is, we're still not quite, because it's still going to be going on because of our contact, because of Skylar and Kayla. We are now part of an amazing family with a couple just, with Anthony Morrissey and his wife, Tracy, aka Mimi.
Mimi and Tony.
Yeah, and Coach, they have just an amazing foundation called the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters Foundation, which they unfortunately have created after the loss of their son Brian, and because of addiction. And we were very fortunate. We met him our last trip there. He was a guest on the show.
Fabulous, man. What a fabulous man.
And I mean, again, the people that you meet, the intensity in their stories, it doesn't matter, the person, it doesn't matter the relationship, whether it's just, in this case, it was his son. In other scenarios, it could be a family friend, a coworker, an acquaintance. It doesn't matter. When you lose someone, it hurts. But when you lose someone to addiction, and in this case, it was his son, and they decided to create an amazing foundation. And when we were there, we had Coach come on, and so not only do we have him come on, but we also became part of that. And we're hope dealers now. He was nice enough to hook us up with some hoodies, and right on the back, hashtag hope dealer. And so we are going to be doing a lot of work with Coach, who lives in Connecticut. So we are still going to be doing that because the amount of people that man knows. I mean, he's got some serious connections and a lot of people that want to tell their stories. And at first he was like, yeah, I got a couple people that, because I told him, if you have someone that you feel that wants to tell their story, wants to come on, this platform's for all of us. And he was like, well, yeah, he wasn't sure. While we were doing the show, he was sitting there talking, and I mean, the intensity, it was just growing as it went on. And I mean, he was you could just feel the passion and the intensity. And as we're doing it, he rattled off this person. He goes, yeah, I'd like to have you meet them. They definitely would, you would be a great person for the show. And then all of a sudden he brought up someone else, and they brought up someone else. Within the show, he brought up 3 more people besides the other 2 or 3. And
And he
So,
could probably do a part 2.
oh, and he'll be coming back on. So we are still going to be TSA. Still gets to
Get to know
get
you a
very
little
well
better.
acquainted with me every
Mhm.
time. Excuse me, Manny. I know. I know.
Uh-huh. Did you catch
Let's.
the name of that one TSA agent? Because you guys are like buddies now
Oh, the one in
in
White
White
Plains.
Plains.
Oh, what was her name? Oh God, I can't. She is so nice. The last time we were there, I was walking by and I happened to look over and she was just looking over and she smiled and I pointed at her. I walk over and she goes, "How you doing, honey?" And I go, "I'm good." And I go, "Did you miss me?" She, we're just joking around, and she told me the name, but I can't remember. But they're just so nice, and it's a very, very. When I say it's a small airport, Metro has what 162
Like
or
145 or
some
something like that. It's
gates,
a fair amount of games.
100 like 50, 100, whatever it is, gates. White Plain has
Yeah.
four,
4.
four gates, and their TSA agent also works at the concession stand as well as maintenance on the plane. Does the janitorial work, and I believe flies the plane as well.
Probably so.
So we're sitting there chit chatting, and it's just a great time.
But they do a real good business there.
Oh,
They keep those planes moving. For
they
those little
did.
4 gates, they're hustling.
Yeah, and thank God our plane, took off. Wheels went up, and when we landed, wheels were down and not up over our heads.
Yeah, upside down.
Because that day,
That was the day.
when we flew out, was that terrible, the very bad weather, and we were on the runway, and we were waiting to head down and take off. So as we're rolling, just about to take off, all of a sudden the guy next to us, our new friend Tim from Appleton, Wisconsin, is like, he
Firefighter.
goes, "Oh shit!" And of course, and for those of you who know me, they drug my ass or something every time
Exactly.
on the plane, because as soon as I walk in, and as soon as my ass is in that chair, I'm done. It's just like I sit down. It's like, oh no, oh no. And I'm out like a
It's like
light.
somebody put chloroform over his mouth.
It's literally that fast too,
Mhm.
because I'll be sitting there and it doesn't matter, because I've surprised a few different occasions. We usually fly comfort class, where and it's usually row 5,
Mhm.
and it's usually seats A and B, because the seat in front of me there's like a little bit of a gap, so I don't have a seat right in front of me, and the comfort seating's a little bit, it's a wider
Wider than
seat, so it's
economy.
very comfortable, and I love it. As soon as I sit down, done, out. Uh, there was an occasion where Miss OG here, there was an issue. I don't know what happened, but she informed me that our seating wasn't quite where we usually were. And I was like, well, whatever. So as we get on the plane and we walk right past first class,
Oh, you talk
and
about
as
that
we
one.
walk past comfort class, and we're still walking back, she's like, keep going, keep going. I'm like, we got the only other, there's an exit out by the shitter by the back of the plane. She's like, that's where we're sitting. We were in the last row next to the bathroom.
Mhm.
But the thing is, as soon as I sat down there, out. So it doesn't matter if my ass is sitting next to the bathroom in the back of the plane or first class. Something. I mean, it's funny,
Yeah.
but
Read what Jackie wrote.
um, glad they have an amazing scene. I talk. So you
She
remember?
listened. Yeah.
See, at least some people listen when I'm talking. That is the delay that we had, and it was so funny, because I just have fun. I like to joke around, as you guys hopefully know by
Mhm.
now, and I never know what I'm going to say.
I'm going to break in. It's really good because he does like to make people laugh and make them have a nice day. Because these 2 women,
Oh,
because we were delayed, were getting shit from many people, and you could tell that they were getting stressed. So what does Mr. Wonderful do? He goes up and kind of chit chats with them and gets them laughing. Okay, now go.
yeah, the
Uh-oh, you okay?
just joking to that.
Just choking to death?
But
Good
these
thing I'm a
poor
nurse.
girls that are working the gate, I mean, all they're doing is relaying information. Next thing you know, it went from 12:30 takeoff. We didn't get on the plane for 3 hours,
Yeah.
3.5 hours. Well, now people are bitching at them, and they're bitching at them. And
Mhm.
it's like, and I'm just sitting there. And so finally, the crowd that was there bitching thins out. And I finally just walk up there, and they're just kind of looking at me because as I'm walking up, I wasn't smiling or nothing. I just had this kind of look on my face, and they're just kind of
Mhm.
looking at me as
Like, oh
I'm
no, there's another
as I'm
one.
walking up. I'm kind of giving them the eye. So I walk up there and I go, you know what? And they're just staring. I go, and I started to laugh. I go, you guys are doing a great job. And I said, listen, screw these people. It's not your damn fault. And they're just going on and on. Thank you so much. I go, oh, I go, you're welcome. And I go, just one more thing. They're like, what's that? I go, when are we leaving? And they jumped back and they started cracking up. So that's when I decided to come back and told her what the update I heard was it's leaving when it leaves.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well, shit, let's go live. So I'm sitting there going live. And like I said, I never know what I'm going to say. That's why I enjoy going live so much. And that's when I just said, yeah, we've been delayed and out of nowhere, just that's because the security is the seeing eye dog got away from the pilot. So we can't take off until the pilot can get his seeing eye dog back into this. And I just kept talking. And I look, and OG's next to me just going,
Like,
and I look
really?
over and she's like shaking her head. But now she's just used to it. She's like, whatever. And yeah, so and I remember there was a few people going, the pilot is seeing eye dog. So yeah, so Jacqueline, thank you for at
Yeah,
least I know
she
you're
remember.
listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. And then a couple other people overheard the one lady next to us. She started laughing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Mhm.
But anyways, while we were getting ready to take off, before I went unconscious,
Yeah.
I hear, oh shit. And then I hear OG going, oh my God. And
Mhm.
I was still like, good night, done. And that's when they said about the Delta flight that came into Toronto and decided to land upside down. And here we were just taking off as soon as that happened. It was like, shit. But yeah, crazy time. Luckily, um, it wasn't too bad as far as the flight, the turbulence, and we
Mm-mm.
did land, right side up. So
Mhm.
that was good. Sheila, how you doing? I see Tyler's on here again. Jacqueline, thank you. And Calico, always great to see you, Calico.
Mhm.
And of
And
course, my
Trisha,
brother Skylar. Trisha's on.
Trisha Gibson. Yep,
Where's Trisha?
she's in there
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm looking at the monitor here in the studio, and OG is looking.
on my
She's
phone.
on the phone,
You can tell because I'm always looking down.
so she's got.
Well, they know I'm
Yeah,
responding to them.
so she gets quicker details than
Yeah.
pop up here on the
Yeah.
screen. So that's why she'll sit there. She'll be saying stuff that, oh, look at this, look at that. And I'm like,
What? Look at what?
there's nothing here. All right, Calico, what has she got going on? They're sending you good vibes, Lady Bird. Lady Bird?
Mm,
Who's Lady Bird?
maybe me. I don't know. Or
Is that Lady
could
Bird?
be. I don't know.
Let's see.
But it's good vibes nonetheless.
Uh
All the family will accept those good vibes.
oh, Sheila said it's been a rough day. Well, you know what? We're sending some positive thoughts to
Mhm.
you know what? Everyone's getting positive thoughts and prayers and hugs and good vibes for this whole family, for
Mhm.
everyone at My Fight Our
It's a
War,
beautiful Sunday.
everyone at We Do Recover, everyone. Yeah, I'm just looking out now. It's
I can't tell.
well, it's the sun's going down and just a beautiful day.
Mhm.
It was warmer today. Instead of being in the teens and the single digits, it was up in the mid 30s. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Um, let's
And the
see.
time's going to change pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going back to spring
Is it
ahead
March or April?
in
I don't even
the
know.
next couple weeks, which I like screwing with people too. And they're like, they'll start talking about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, no, it's the same. They're like, what do you mean? The time's the same everywhere. And then no, Manny. And then of course I know that, but I just
He just likes to
I
say it.
just enjoy messing with people, man. Just
Mhm.
like they get so pissed off about something so silly as well. My life's ruined now. And it's like, oh my god!
Really? Yes.
But it is what it is. You know what? as
Get your sleep and keep
as
on
we've
going.
heard many times, don't sweat the small stuff. It's like,
And it's all small stuff.
you know what? Yeah, it is. But I'm trying to think of anything else going on. As always, I hope you guys had a chance to check out with Music and Mayhem, the absolute mayhem that was going on
Yeah,
with our
it was
guests.
mayhem.
Our last guest that we had on, a huge thank you to Benjamin Lerner, who was on as our special guest last Wednesday, and still getting a lot of very positive feedbacks to that show. And then before that as well, all of the guests who have come on, Kalichi came on, Matt Keegan, King Handsome. Thank you guys so much for coming on, sharing your stories, the collaboration, and all that. And just think, this all started because of my first guest. Well, not first guest, but musical guest that came on My Fight or War,
Skylar.
which just happens to be my brother Skylar Ray. One thing led to another, and here we are.
You just never know what's going to
with
happen.
Music and Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. What else? What else? Anything? Skylar, you still there? You got anything?
No. I know that we have to work on the studio. We're going to be putting up some more
Yeah, there's what we got
foam on the walls.
that you guys can't see is 2 big tables that are useless. And because they're right now, the one is holding the mic. It's for the hookup for our mics, which is about this big. The box,
So we got
literally
like a 6-foot
and
table.
there's like a 6 by 3 foot table, and the only thing that's on there is that, and our mics, the extensions are hooked up to it. That's it. The other table, which is in front of it, has
junk.
A corner, about a 8-inch by 3-inch corner of the table, has the monitor that I'm looking at on it, and that's it.
Yeah, we got to make it so we can do actually real podcast from here.
So these tables are going to be gone.
More than just live.
What we're going to be doing is getting 3 chairs, 3 nice comfortable chairs that are going to be in here. We're going to rearrange the lighting. We're going to rearrange, the computers and stuff like that off to the side,
like downtown.
And it's going to be just and what we do have, the logo behind me is not going.
Gotta have the wolf. Gotta have
that
the wolf.
is staying. And then we've got the one wall where we've got a black.
That's behind me.
Yeah, so it's all just like a black covering that's going to cover the whole wall.
That's why I look so pasty white.
Yeah, so we're going to have that on that wall, so that'll be fine. And the other walls that you can't see, we actually have our soundboard, the foam pads that we have up for the studio to help with the sound and stuff like that, which looks awesome. But now that we are going to be doing in-person shows, it needs to be just a little bit more, cosmetically a little pleasing to the eye. So we're going to redo that a little bit, and just some other things too. We are going to need 1 more camera. We've got the 2 cameras set up now, obviously here and here for us, or if we left it this way, we could do it, but we need to have that 3rd camera for the wide shot for myself and whoever the guest is going to be, or if we have 3 people going at one time. So, what we have, the only thing will be another camera, and then cosmetic stuff. So we're going to get that going, and I'm really, really hoping that we can start doing in-person interviews.
Taped.
Taped. Well, we could actually do both. We could record them, and we could also still do live.
And just send the.
Well, no, we'll just. We still have an option to do live with the person in here instead of virtual. Instead of sending the links to StreamYard and all that, they'll just be in here because it's still going to be launched through StreamYard and all that. But you're going to be recording it as well. So when we do that, we're going to edit them. Then, of course, those are going to be recorded.
In other words, we're stepping up the game here.
Yeah, you know what? It's time to.
We've little bit by little bit, we've been improving, and now it's going to go another step forward.
This all started a year ago This is how this started. This and this.
And a ring light.
And a ring light.
What's a ring light?
Yeah. And a set of earbuds. That's it. And now everything else I just rattled off.
Yeah.
So if all goes as planned, and we can get my friend to come in here and give the suggestions and basically hook it up, because then what we need to do is make it Manny friendly, which means dumb it up as best you can, which means getting that piece of paper with a circle.
Step
One, turn this
step
on.
two.
Step two, step. And I'm literally serious about that, because when it comes to doing stuff like this, I talk into this and I look into that, and that's what I do.
You've gotten much better.
Every now and then
really
I'll push some
have.
buttons, just click some stuff, and I get lucky. But so yeah, we're going to be doing that, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, there's so many stories locally here in Detroit that people who've been wanting to come on, and just because of the setup, we can't do it. So that's going to be changing, and we now have the possibility, or we'll have the setup to do everything. So that was 36 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. So,
well, but they're interested in what you're doing. I'm interested in what you're doing.
but other than that, man, we are good. Can be nice to listen to Lynn, even NBC Topics live stream, or listen to OG. Oh yeah, it's always interesting to listen to OG. You never know what is going to be said. But see, that's why I love going live, man. It's like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Beats me. I mean, you'll hear me when
what
we
are we
go
going to talk
live.
about?
Yeah, most of the shows when they start up, it's like, unless it's Mondays with the guests, or the or Wednesdays with Music and Mayhem. Whenever I do the lives, usually it's two things. What's today again? And it's like, it's Sunday, the blah blah blah. Okay, what are we gonna talk about? And she's like, I don't know. And then it's like,
start with the weather and go from there.
Yeah. Usually it's like, we'll give the Detroit weather update.
Yeah.
But okay, folks. Well, you got anything else you want to throw out there before we?
No, just rest well on Sunday, because most of y'all are going. Y'all. See, I'm practicing.
Oh, that's right.
Y'all are going to be going to work tomorrow. Many of you will be anyway.
And y'all, and that's because in June,
practicing for June,
we are practicing for our very good friend
Huntsville,
Lori.
Alabama.
We are going to Athens, Alabama, to go to an event with our very good friend Lori, who is having an event there. And she's been busting her ass for over 9 years, helping so many people from not only in Athens, Alabama, but for around the world. I mean, she is helping people from everywhere, and invited us to the event. And not only that, but I invited me to be a speaker. So we're going to do that. And since it's in Athens, Alabama, I've been practicing my y'all and fixing and bless your heart and all that good stuff. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready by June. So other than that, I'm going to go take me a nap before the Tonight Show. So if you guys don't forget, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, please check us out live with Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it with Jim and Tim. Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. And then tomorrow night, 7 p.m. ish Eastern Time, with a very special guest, Jeremy Ross, as he tells his story as well.
Should be a good one.
Wednesday, Music and Mayhem.
And Mayhem.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Music and Mayhem.
And those are always good. Wednesdays are my favorite days.
Oh, it's that, and
that energy.
And being that it's at this point, we don't have any special guests yet, but who knows what could happen.
Who could pop on?
We do have stuff that we've been doing, I should say, what Skylar's been doing. I've just been kind of going for the ride, as he's been doing so much stuff behind the scenes that he knows so well. So a huge thank you to Skylar for what they're doing, and Kayla as well with her help as well. So you guys have a great rest of the day, and please check us out tonight if you are looking for something, having a few laughs, and getting some serious shit too, check us out 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast.
Bye now.
Until then, have a great night and keep fighting the good fight.